Next edition of SBR Forum's NFL Rundown, where we're going to go over a couple of our early leans for Week 13's NFL schedule. So let's not waste any more time and let's get right to the picks, starting with that Packers and Lions game. No Aaron Rodgers automatically spells disaster for this Green Bay team, but hope is still alive now that it seems that Matt Flynn will be stepping in as the starter for this game. Granted, he's not one of the most reliable quarterbacks out there, but he can get the job done. The 6-5 Lions had a very disappointing match last Sunday after they lost to the Bucs. This surely raises a flag, especially if you're leading the division. For this game, I'm leaning on the plus 5.5 for the Pack, as I think that they should be able to keep the game close. The next game we're looking at is the Raiders against the Cowboys. The boys are coming off a close win against the depressing Giants and are leading the division at 6-5. On the other side of it, the Raiders are 4-7 at the bottom of their division, just behind the 5-6 Chargers, and they let the victory slip past their fingers this Sunday to the Tennessee Titans 23-19 at home. The boys are at minus 9.5, but I think that this might be a little bit too much points for them. For this game, I'm actually going to lean on the under 45.5, as we're taking in consideration that the three last matches between these two teams ended up being a really low-scoring game. The next one we're looking at is the Cardinals against the Eagles. There seems to be winds of change blowing in Arizona as they currently find themselves with a 7-4 record and are in second place in the NFC West, thanks to a victory achieved this past Sunday against the Colts, where they beat them 40-11. On the other hand, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, who find themselves in the second position of their division with a 6-5 record, tied with the first place, the Dallas Cowboys. Philly is coming back from their bye week, but their last game against the Redskins in Week 11, they were able to come out with the win, and Nick Foles led the team to a 16-24 victory in Philly. I like that Philly is finally putting some faith in Foles, though their defense still sucks, and Arizona is the 7th best in the league right now. I think this should be a very even match, so our lean has to be on the under 48.5, as both defenses give up less than 24 points per game. And the last game we're looking at is the Saints against the Seahawks. This should be the game of the week, where the NFC South leaders, the 9-2 Saints, travel to Seattle, where they will play the NFC West leaders, the 10-1 Seattle Seahawks, for an epic National Conference battle. This matchup brings the number 3 offense against the number 2 defense of the league, and all eyes are on the Saints, as this is a rematch of the 2010-2011 conference game where Seattle beat the Saints 36-41 in Seattle. I can only expect this to be a high-intensity match where both teams will do everything possible to shut down the other, and the 12th man will be a key factor for Seattle. I like that the Seahawks and Russell Wilson trying to continue with their winning streak at home, but I'm sure that the Saints will keep the match close. I don't see many points being scored by the offenses here, so this should be a defensive match entirely. I'm going to have to lean on the under 46.5, as I can only expect this to be a low-scoring game. Well, that's all for this week's NFL Rundown. We'll be back next Monday with more coverage and free picks for your NFL favorite games. For SBR Forum, this is Floyd.